Hey, sorry for not streaming so long here. We are back for, I think, one last stream. I might do some tomorrow and on Sunday if I have time, but we're kind of getting ready for the big event. Um, if you like event modeling and event sourcing and all of those things, and event driven architectures, things like domain driven design, CQRS, looking at pub subsystems, things like Kafka, Event Store, any of these things. If you've tried microservices and failed and made a distributed monolith, any of those things, you will probably be interested in our workshop that's coming up next week, starting Monday to Friday. And then the unconference, the first event modeling unconference, is coming up in a week's time, week and a day. So Saturday on the 14th, all day long. There's special guests. I have it on the screen here. So we have Dave Thomas, who's part of the original work behind Agile, but long before that, he's been doing incredible stuff, such as actually getting estimates to work in software, working off of fixed cost, and that's long before anything that we did in event modeling to enable those things. And also have Ryan Singer, of course, is going to be part of the workshop for explaining how his shape up methodology for organizing work and kind of building past agile, the post agile world. How do you actually plan your work? So it's a great pleasure to have Ryan there. It seems like the first half of Shape Up is a perfect place for event modeling, so I'm quite excited to see what the participants will do in terms of applying that, also asking Ryan questions during that time. Of course, we have Arian, who's made a really good intuitive framework for making event models. And of course, Martin's going to be there, who's made a really excellent Miro plugin. Miro is used as a drawing tool, planning tool, or canvas for sharing work in organizations. So you'll most likely run into Miro in your day-to-day work. Here we're using Draw.io, but any canvas will work. Most of our clients end up using Miro or have Miro already there. So Martin's work involves creating a plugin that allows you to really quickly go through and author and interrogate your event model for correctness and other things, but also help in authoring the event models themselves. And of course, the person that started this whole thing of making event modeling tooling for many years now is Bobby Collarwood. And so he's going to be there with us to kind of show the history, I guess, and how his applied event modeling and event driven architectures, event sourcing into large organizations. I know his background includes Capital One and some other large fintech companies. So he's actually going to be in town, which is excellent. We have some people calling in remotely, but Dave, Bobby, Ariane, a lot of people are here in person. So yeah, hopefully this is the last kind of couple of days to sign up. And hopefully we'll see a lot of people here. So if you've been thinking about it, you're back at work for the first week and you really are hit with a lot of projects and you want to apply some proper event driven, event sourced, or you want to do a little bit better than the default agile approaches, this is something for you. So yeah, go to adaptedgroup.com/workshops or just click on workshops in the menu. You'll notice this is our website here. This is who we are. And of course, there's all of the different combinations that you can book. But here it explains who's going to be there. So if you like any of that, of course, we've worked with some large clients over the many years. Actually, it's our 9th year anniversary. So at Adaptec, so we've worked with some really good companies helping them with event-driven systems, mostly with event sourcing and event modeling. That's exclusively what we do. So, yeah, it's been quite a pleasure to see this movement kind of grow in this application, this method of talking about systems, describing systems, and implementing them. Has been incredibly powerful and adopted across the globe now. So, if you want to see where we got to, this is kind of a good opportunity. In this live stream, I want to continue on with some of the automation patterns and maybe take some questions if you have. The YouTube channel should have chat enabled, and same with Discord, Twitch, and all that. I should probably actually open up Discord and see if anyone's saying anything there. But yeah, there's I think a channel that I have on Discord that's called Live Stream. I think it's hooked up properly. So anyway, if you want to, yeah, it's called live stream chat. So if you have any questions, post them in here. In any of these channels, I'm kind of streaming across LinkedIn and others. I think LinkedIn comments come through as well. So anyway, this silly camera that I have to upgrade loses focus quite a lot of times. I'm not sure if I could get some sort of a control for it. I'll just upgrade the camera because I really have no focus control on this thing. And so I'm not sure why it loses that. I think I just have to replace the camera. So eventually I will. Let's see. I don't know, it's got zoom defaults to very close. I think there's a problem with the motor on this. I think it's just failing, unfortunately. So you're gonna have to put up with blurry me until the camera wakes up. So let's get into it. Let's start automating. Again, I guess I'll leave this on the side here of who we have as special guests. Yeah, gosh, this camera thing is really annoying. Come on, camera. Amazon special. It's like, it's incredibly close. Like, why is it focusing on like a millimeter in front of it? That's quite odd. Okay, I've never seen this happen this bad. I'm usually just slightly out of focus. Is it getting it? Huh. I don't know if I have to turn it off and on. Maybe I'll do that. Try it and see if I can do that. All right. So when I look at the event model that we have for building an event sourced system for the Open Spaces organization, I'll turn off my camera here and see if we can get it to work. Okay. I'll turn that off. It seems like for people that are streaming things, the camera seems to be always the thing that's a problem. Some overheat and go off. Okay. I'm not sure why the camera's not responding. I think it might have just died. Well, that's wonderful. Camera has died on the live stream, so I'm just going to turn myself off here and do this without any view of me. Okay, so let's continue on here with our project. Let me just pick this up. There we go. All right, since I'm not here, I will have this just this banner going in the bottom. Yeah, take a look at my Twitter profile or stream. Same with LinkedIn for the links for the conference. Again, this is the last chance to get in for next week. Oh, by the way, I had a really neat little discovery of how to change my icon here in my prompt in Fish Shell to have my little Linux penguin instead of the Ubuntu logo. I think it's prompt. No. What is it here? Set. No, I don't think it's on here. I think it's the other terminal's history. Hasn't synced up yet. Anyway, so what is our project here? We're going to also be looking at this during the workshop and using some of it for learning about event sourcing and event modeling. But again, a quick review. This is open space management. An event model is a blueprint for the whole thing. We label certain parts of the workflow up here, such as naming your conference, setting the dates, adding rooms, adding time slots. These would be kind of the titles of your, if you're using Jira, that would be your epic Jira stories. And then in here, actually, no, this would be your epic. Setup would be your epic. And then these would be the individual tickets potentially. And maybe not, because we have individual pieces of work based around setting the actual name versus showing a confirmation page and actually getting that information out to show that it's actually there. So this would be kind of one piece of work. A lot of the test cases in that ticket would be here. So all the given when thens would be here. This is given nothing. When I do this command, I get this result. Given I have this in my history and I try to do this, this is my result. So all of these are implementable as unit tests. In terms of showing information, all the implementations basically are given a certain history. What does a certain projection of state or state view look like? As we add more and more events, how do we change that? In this case, as we're we don't have a name set. If we somehow go to that URL, the confirmation URL, we'll see no name set. It might have like your event name here message or things like that. So let's see. Let me see here. I just want to make sure I have my notifications off on my phone. Very annoying. Okay, good. So, yeah, an event model is really a walk through the system. I mark each part as being done or not along the way. As you can see, screenshots with example data or screen mock-ups are here so that we can see how the solution goes through. Let me just turn off my notifications. Not disturb. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, this is kind of where we got to last time. I have some things that are in process. We did want to get to these identifiers, sorry, these generators. So when something's done automatically for you by the system, we show that with a gear, that something that we normally would do manually when we're doing systems by pen and paper long ago. we would have an automation step now instead of someone doing things manually, such as generating a unique identifier. Kind of anything that we choose to do, we or rely on a system to do for us. We abstract with us one or two or more processors, and we can show the state moving through different phases to show how, for example, this conference IDs to-do list here. Here we're just generating IDs, but this view is used as a source of work for this that may be a cron job, or it may run immediately after the web request is almost done. Up to you, really. This is not about implementation, specifying implementation to that level. It's specifying the information flow, and that ends up being a really good way of talking about things. You might notice there's some swim lanes here. We have some actors such as participant, the sysadmin, and the organizer of the conference. We want to see what screens they look at as they go through the whole process. So last time I was showing that we could make a dashboard for the sysadmins to show, for example, a queue of IDs to be generated. I mean, this is a trivial example. These are one-liners in when you're implementing them, but there may be cases where that is not such a simple task, and there may be some more logic behind generating identities, and specifically maybe if you want to embed the name of the conference or some other things, make it a composite key out of something, you might want to actually show that as a series of processors or one processor that's going to do that. So this is an opportunity to do that. So last time people were asking, how do you do these processors? So we're going to jump into that today. It's used for many things, but this to-do list kind of way of thinking about it allows you to do a lot without having to involve the understanding of many, many different patterns. You can sort of take any of the patterns that you have out there and elaborate them using this same simple pattern that we see recurring here over and over again. So let's get into the code. And in fact, I just want to see if we have that previous work here. Request unique ID. Yeah, so I'm using Git different work trees, which is a really good way of working with Git. So here, if we go into this work tree, integration unique. Okay, so if we go in here, we notice that we have some work being done in here. And if we go up a bit so we can see some of this, we have some modifications in app.js in here. So here it's marked with the green changes, which is not much. Thought I had more changed here. I guess we're just starting. We have some changes. Let's see, did we have that? Here, okay. So let's look at the event model again. Control tab, and we just keep one at the main branch, our main event model. You could probably put it in its own, but I think it's easier to do it this way. I kind of moved against the idea of having the event model, which is sort of it acts like a README for the whole project. So you kind of, and of course the tracking of tickets, because as you can see, different parts here are marked as done or not done. So it really replaces your ticketing system, etc. Comments in here are kind of your bugs. I would put something red in here if there was a bug, and and things like that. So sorry, just last minute coordinations for the conference and workshop. So people flying in from out of town are messaging and about some details about hotel stays and all that. So yeah, just on that conference note, there's some people flying in from Europe, some from across the states. It's really strange to see people come in from all over the world for this thing. So it's nice to see that. But yeah, I really don't see the difference on here. Get diff. So I think we just moved this app get space created confirmation. And some spaces here, work request ID. So let's see what that looks like here. Open spaces request unique ID confirmation. So we kind of started backwards. We wanted to have the unique ID confirmation, set a URL conference. I'm not sure if I actually did this in the other one, which would, just playing around with this, this might have it, which is not good. I do not want it to be here. As you can see, there's other stuff missing here. Yeah, create conference URL and QR code ID. So I think get log from main. Oh, this is all manuals work, and mine July 8th. No, I'm not seeing this right. Let me just check. Check my commits. No, I want the log. Where's my log? Get lens. Commit graph. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't have. Why is it showing Manuel's stuff? This is all mine. But yeah, I can see that here we have issues because I am changing this picture, which I don't want to do anymore. So actually, I might just drop this branch and start from the same place here. All of that. I might just reset everything here, so I'll probably check this out. And yeah, because I have a, let me see, did I actually have anything? Yeah, I had some confirmation stuff. Yeah, yeah, I have one event that I added through here, and just changed the get ignore. So I don't think I did much. I really don't want those draw IO changes at all. But I don't want to mess around with get during this session. So let's just start from scratch and implement the whole workflow ourselves here. So let's forget about that branch. Let's go back to the event model here, which is at the top. So it's in our main branch. We're tracking all this, such as Ruby setup instructions, etc. And I have this in progress, which I should finish. Maybe we can finish this during the workshop as part of one of the exercises. This actually originally started at the Como Camp conference or I guess Open Spaces and Unconference in Vienna, which was put on by some really good people that are also doing a lot of collaborative design using other methodologies like domain storytelling and others, which have their preference by some people. We use event modeling because it's a little bit more holistic. It kind of takes care of all of the concerns, and especially in my case, I'm really a stickler for having the UX UI part in the design, so that we're always tied back to what tied back to what the users are going to be doing. So you can still understand the system design, but also it's directly tied to what the users are going to be doing. So you're not, I think a lot of times we work a bit in a silo, not just between different people in the organization, but we work in a silo away, removed too far away from the end user. I think bringing in UX and UI into system design brings that back to kind of gives you a wake up call. If you're designing something silly, you're kind of forced to look at how your end user is going to be impacted. And I know a lot of people are mindful; they are thinking about that. But I think having this on the same artifact, really focuses you to pay attention for that. Okay, so let's begin here. So we've did this create conference URL and all that, which is interesting. So that is done, apparently. Let's check the code. We should have. If this is done, then this should be here, honestly, and this should really be like that. So just to zoom in, I just moved this to be as part of this slice because this creation is what's happening here. And in fact, this has to be here, and these lines aren't very cooperative. It's a little bit messy here. Just clean those up a bit. There. I think I was moving stuff around, just forgot to clean stuff up a bit. So, oh, interesting. I'm wondering why that's moving all together. I think I have a grouping done. Ungroup, and make sure that, okay, that is in the wrong. Yeah, see this, the progress shouldn't have these things. So I wish there was a quick way to move to a different. So you can't move it to a different layer. That's a real pain in the butt with Draw.io. That's another thing we're going to be looking at, is really how these event modeling tools are developed. We'll look at something on the second day in terms of building our own one of these, so that it's not so manual and clunky. And again, we'll see Arian and how Martin and Arian have really built a lot of that, so we can do that ourselves. It's not a very difficult format. You could definitely do this in divs and HTML to have the same thing and have all the inputs or the fields to be filled out very quickly. You can do quite a lot just straight client-side HTML to make this not such a painful process, which it is here. So if I turn this off, I can see that the progress should be here, but I shouldn't have the diagram as part of this layer. Why is it? That's another thing. That clicking inside clicks that. So if I cut this and then I show this up, close the progress, have this, and paste, I should have it on the right level now. So if I show these, they're now part of that. But I did have this subscription link missing. So do that, and of course it loses the default line type, which we want that, and I think that's good enough. But I think it also has a better, yeah, here we have 80 for our color, and yeah, we should be able to copy style and then paste style. Yeah, there we go. So I have these lines that we can sort of see. They're kind of not in the way, but we can follow them. Okay, the promised the code to do this. I just wanted to double check whether this unique ID requested. Oh, you see there's another link that's missing. Right there. That is default style. Delete that. Try that again. That's better. Okay. Save that. I think that's it. So we have request unique ID requested, so we should be able to see that in the events, but we don't. So I believe that's in another branch. Work request unique ID. Okay, so I think I remember what happened is that this work request unique ID is in a different branch, but again, the event model, I'm not sure if I was changing anything in here, so I'm gonna take a quick look there and see if that work was done there. So cd dot underscore this get diff against main. Oh, that's all the wrong way. What do we do? Is it triple? No. I guess I can just ask how to complete Control K. Control K. Okay, there we go. So log of current branch, but stop at main. At what is it? The base. Stop at the branch point. Okay, show your worthwhile AI. So you have to get the merge base of head and main and do that. Use the dot syntax without doing a merge base subcommand. I know that the dot syntax should do that. Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. So I think that's what it is. Okay, but that's giving me the wrong thing. That's giving me main, and no, I don't want main. Yeah, that's giving me all of that, which is, I think, the wrong way around. Oh, it's giving me both. Is it main dot dot? Nope. Or is it main dot dot? Dot. That's main. That's very strange. Yeah, I thought there was a way to show. It might be show me everything that's here, but then exclude. I don't know if I have to escape this and fish. Main. No. No. Okay, let's try this again. That's what happens when you use all of these UI tools. Forget stuff. You forget all the syntax, especially tree-ish and the dot dot for set operations. So I mean, we can ask ChatGPT here to kind of do that. Explain the dot dot syntax in GitLog. but not from A. Okay, so we have to do get log. So reachable from B. So all the things in the current branch. So it should be in main, but then not here, which is odd. I'm not getting anything. Very strange. So if maybe we have to do request, that still doesn't make sense. Because if we do get log all one line graph, and we show this, and then we have this. And what are we checked out on? Oh, you know what it is? It's probably the work tree. The work tree is kind of weird. I think it's going back to what's currently checked out. So get status is okay, which is weird because right now we are here. Very odd behavior. I haven't used work trees, the new feature of work tree, a lot yet. So this is a little bit concerning because I should be able to see. Okay, let's do that. Get log all, instead of all, just one line graph. So that's going to give us this, which shows we are going through here. We have some other things that are I don't know if this branch is actually used. It's not. This is all continuously one branch. And we can see that we have other merges here. But yeah, let's take a look at main. So that's the main one. And we can add to that our current one. So it should have main. And then, oh, I see. So we're checked out here, but we already merged this. That's the problem. Okay, that's why it was showing nothing. It's like, yeah, we have already merged this. That's why it wasn't working. So what I was trying to do, the dot syntax actually works if things aren't merged yet. It shows you one or the other. So it sees one that's reachable from there, but not there. That's essentially giving you everything up to the merge base. There's another reason why you don't want to do back merges, because it breaks this functionality, so you can't see things in isolation. But yeah, looks like I wanted to do quite a lot more coding, but we are dealing with Git, which is okay. There is a proper way to organize these. I've streamed about it before. One of the things that we do once you have your infrastructure kind of going and you're repeating this pattern over and over again, let me just close this and close this, close this and close this, so I can explain that a little bit. So once you're going quickly and you're doing these what we call slices one by one, these end up being a branch. So if I look at shapes, I do have shapes. So general, if I just do a circle, and let me get the style to be, let's say, just blue, and I want this to actually be a circle. That's good enough. So do that and do that and do that. So we have some commits for one feature. This particular feature can be written beside another feature. Oops. Great. How did that close? go back to our, it's not this one, should be this one. Yeah, right, here we go. Okay, so if we have this history, we kind of want our history to show, let's just say that this is our add style. So if we have that as our kind of base here, we want Control copy, Control V. We want these two to be in parallel. So in other words, we want to be able to work on these independently because we kind of drew out the dependencies here. So these should click like Legos. When you merge these eventually, when they're finished, you should have, and of course we're again dealing with this formatting stuff. Okay, and so let's just set that as default style. I wish it remembered more. All right, so yeah, we want to have multiple features coming out of the same spot, and we'll show it like this. Maybe we'll do it like this, and here we go, like that, and like that, and like that. So that's kind of okay. It's a very bad connector. Okay, so Draw.io needs some love in terms of getting connectors done properly. Okay, that's not so bad. Yeah, so we had feature A here, feature B, feature C. This is kind of how you can keep developing in parallel and then deploying, but also you can have other branches that are, we can copy this and yeah, so if you want to be integrating this all along, so we can have integration commits here. Let's just do them as yellow. So we had 9 commits there. So let's maybe see if we can shrink this down a bit. Do a smaller dot. Okay, because these are just integration commits. They're just checkpoints. So as soon as I'm done my first commit, I would do that. I would control, let's see, we would do, let's start at the top. So, and of course it's too large. Let's forget about that then and just do these spaced out a bit instead. So move these down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Doing 9 because in all we have 9 commits, so just make some more room. Should be enough room. Again, let's get rid of these guys. Get rid of these guys. Why is this guy not dying? There we go. It's attached at the very lower end there. So integration branch will have its history of what we integrated. So obviously they'll be related, but they'll all be merge commits. So let's just do that. We'll definitely have 9 of these. And I guess I will have to make, oops, delete that guy. 2 more. What is going on? Draw.io, you are very irritating sometimes. Okay, so 1, 2, yes, 3 sets of 3. But now we have to move this down to add the space. So we definitely will have them like this. I'll try to have them at a diagonal level. And of course, now there's a distribute functionality here. So I'm going to do one more thing, is I'm going to just move these so that they're more distributed, like so. That's good. And now, unfortunately, these are kind of not far apart enough, or too close, actually too far apart. So let's see if there's like a way to distribute these. Arrange, distribute vertical. Oh yeah, it mixed them up. Yeah, Control Z. Z, yeah, it's not gonna work. So I'm just gonna move these apart even more, just to align them with what's going on here. But it's an interesting concept in event modeling and event sourcing. How, like, the core abstraction is not around an object or an entity; it's around a workflow step. The other things become secondary, which is interesting to think about, because it's kind of opposite of where we, what we were taught in school. So here, we integrate this here, and of course this comes off of that. So this is the first integration, which is a no-op. Nothing's happening here, right? So we integrated with nothing. We integrated with what we started with. So now the next one, and why did that lose a connection? Come on, help me out here, Draw.io. All right, so this is a little too high. That looks better. So second one would get integrated here. I should probably turn off the grids, view grids, so that we can just see this more clearly as we're doing this. There, that's better. I don't like those grids. I should have turned them off a long time ago. My eyes don't hurt anymore. That's good. Okay, so let's show this. So this is how the integration story goes. Just going to align them all and then reconnect them. I don't understand why it's losing the connections. Oh, I can just shift click the other one to unselect it. Yes, I know. I don't. Again, I forgot to shift click. Okay. Now I'll shift click this one and just continue up. Shift click this one and continue up. There. Now we can. And unfortunately, we're going to have to fix these connections. Not sure why, but we will. I don't know why they're slightly misaligned. Okay, so we continue on with integration story. So that would be an integration here. This would be an integration here. This would be an integration here. This would be an integration here. And again, I have some issues with slightly backwards pointing arrows, but that's just because this is clunky. So, okay, so in this case, we have, feature, where do we have that? Shapes, general. I'm guessing we have, we had text here plus text. Okay, yeah, so here we have feature, very tiny writing, thanks. Control A. Feature 1. Give ourselves some more room. And those stupid things are not allowing me to grab it because so that's feature 1. And control copy paste. This is feature 2. Paste. And that's feature 3. Okay. So if we did that, let's just move this whole thing a little bit out of the way. Really? Yeah, I forgot this is a pain in the butt because it still treats them as individual things instead of a group. I have to group them to be able to grab anything like that. Okay, so yeah, so this is what we have here, and here we have the integration branch. Control copy, control paste. Integration. There we go. Okay, so that's a few of the things that we'll be kind of explaining during the workshop in terms of how you coordinate things. But also, what happens when we're finished? Let's say that these things are finished at this time. We would have a release candidate branch or a QA branch. I like to call them release candidates because you kind of want to be testing what you're going to be delivering into production or shipping to production. Oh my God. Okay. Right, that's what I wanted. Not. Okay, so there we have a to be able to show that without bumping into everything else. Get rid of these guys. Shapes. Format. So I have the integration branch. It kind of basically copies these. But they are, let's choose a different branch. So, sorry, a different color. So let's try blue for, not blue, we already have that. Let's try green for integration as release candidates. So I'm going to move these up a bit for a reason in a second here. Yikes. Okay, so if feature 1 is finished, then we integrate it. And you can just attach this here, just in case, and attach this here. So it kind of goes as a separate line. And same with this. You can kind of have that. Interesting how that line goes behind and before. You saw how weird this thing is. Very strange. So then we have that. So if these features are finished, and this actually comes off of this. Why is this going? Oh yeah, these are backwards. Great. These are all backwards arrows. Well, let's correct it because that's not correct. So yeah, you always point back to where you're coming from. This is why this is important. But this, yeah, and same here. Bad. So just connect that to that. Which looks awful, I know, but that's the arrows here. Okay, so now they're all pointing backwards. So this integration branch is really, sorry, this merge commit is really merging that and this, which is a no-op, but we still want to show it. This one is merging this commit, this one. This is where you get your feedback, right? So this is the integration branch, which is not shipped. This is where you get your feedback that, hey, these two features are still playing along, even though we have a very good separation of concerns here. And we generally don't have any merge conflicts. It's one of the nicest things about this style of development is that we did away with merge conflicts entirely. It's not something we suffer on our projects. We don't suffer with those at all. And it's kind of funny. People don't, can't believe what they're hearing, that we just don't deal with that. But that's fine. The people that understand, they're going fast and they're having a good time with software development. It's one of the things I wanted to get rid of is all the pain points in software development, and I did. We did it at scale with others, and then did it at scale with multiple clients that also are getting the same benefits. These are just, why is this such a bad tool? Oh, I see. This thing is not a proper circle. Okay, so again, go this way. Integration goes along. We're integrating, and then these features are now finished. And so maybe I'll raise these a little bit. But this comes from here. So that the release candidate branch comes from here. And why is it drawing that by default? Oh, okay, don't use the large arrows because we'll try to be smart and clever. Okay, so the integration branch is here, but we also say that, if I was developing feature 1, I have 3 commits as I go. And this third one kind of completes this feature. I'm done with it. So now I can say, it's ready to be released. It's a release candidate. So this is this merge where we say, okay, cool. If you're going to, try to release this next bunch of features, make sure this includes mine and my work. There we go. And so now we have 3 things. So that's RC1. And we can kind of, maybe we have a staging environment or something. And so we can tag this. I wonder if there's a shape for tagging. Shapes. General, do we have a tag shape? Why do we, well, I guess that's a step, not a tag. Oh, wow. There, maybe that has a tag. Off-page connector. That's not really the same thing. Clip art, network, office. I guess we'll use this as a tag. Although I don't want to use anything too complex. Maybe we'll just use it. I want to use just general shapes. Do we have something that looks like a tag? Just want a different shape. Maybe just a rectangle. Boring, I know. Or maybe one of these hexagons. Sort of hexagon. It's got a long side at the top and bottom. Okay, let's use that. Here's a hexagon. And we'll do a fill for tags with, what color shall we use? Oh, those are too light. Yellow, we have that. Let's try this, this purple one. purple for the win. Here we will say RC1. Okay, and so this is what might get shipped. You know, this artifact will in fact get shipped to a staging environment, but now we have like some smoke tests and some real life use. Maybe it's staging environments used by some of our clients that want to see these features ahead of time, make sure they're going to work, and they come back with either bugs or refinements to the feature. And so it's feature 3 that they're having an issue with. So let's see if we can demonstrate that. What would happen in that case? So we'd add the fix or improvement. We would still integrate it. So we have an integration commit. So this is just our sanity check integration tests run along with all the other features integration tests. And of course it comes off of this. And as long as that comes back with no, oh, sorry, I forgot to call this release candidate. Okay, so that's our release candidate branch. We tag something that we actually want to release. I might call this a QA branch. It doesn't really matter, just naming conventions. Control copy and paste this. And if our integration tests didn't show any problems, then you know, we're quite happy to also merge that into this alignment stuff is really broken in here. Okay, maybe if I connected it. Okay. And so now we see that this release candidate can actually link to that. And now we can go back to saying, okay, let's see if it's done now. So we can tag it again and put this release candidate here. And this is going to be RC2. You can push that out to our staging environment, ask the question again. And then if everything's good, we can mark this as a deployed solution. So let's show how that's done. Let's just make sure that we have, you know what, I don't know. There, that shows history. We have some other stuff before. But let's move this down a bit. And so what happens with this RC2? If we actually want to deploy this, then we will have a mainline branch, which I think we can do in red. So let's just, again, Control copy, Control V. Here we can do that as red. And we are deploying this. So we show that. And then we drag that down so it's kind of out of the way. I don't know why it's doing that, but okay. So we have a release candidate. We do that. We kind of want to move that here. Move that here. So now we show that we have the release candidate being deployed, and over here we can maybe have a tag, you know, of whatever V1 or V2. So without the RC words in it, we can probably tag this. I mean, this is a no-op. We really want to make sure that we're deploying everything that's in this here. And so this is really just a marker, but you know, just for convention, you may elect to have another tag that is going to be telling you the version, you know, the 1.6 or whatever you're doing. Right, what is 6? There we go. Okay, v 1.6. And of course, it's important because, this is off of a previous deployment, the last time we deployed, right? So if we copy this, then we paste it down here. Oops, pasted it up there. Fun. Okay, and so here we connect this to the previous that was our previous kind of want it up a bit. God damn it. I don't want this page break in here, so just do that. And then kind of move this here. Oh god, this is such an ugly arrow. Why is all this stuff? Yuck. What's wrong with this thing? Okay, that kind of cleaned it up. So we can see that we started off of, oh yeah, let's connect this guy to here. So we know that our previous version was here. Oops, go back down here. Our previous version's here. And we connect that. And of course, the previous version is going to be 1.5. The previous version of our service is 1.5. And of course, this is a merge where we don't do any conflict resolutions. These are markers, so we always, in these merge, we take the strategy of theirs when we're merging. If we don't know what that is, we can do that. So there we go. So here's kind of a typical effort of development. Or if you're doing sprints, it would be in a sprint, but really you can kind of have marker features in here. Any of these things are things you want to ship, then you kind of do that when all those things are ready. You don't have to have 2-week sprints to do this. So as you can see, it makes for a very nicely organized, clean history, because you know what's in production, you know what was in production, you know what you attempted to release, you know that you had these features planned, these 3. You integrated them as you went along, so you have a continuous integration with the feedback that you want. There is no back merges, so these things are highly decoupled. So if I want to, eliminate an entire feature, I simply have to just remerge the remaining 2 without including the first one. So I don't have any kind of coupling in terms of the work. Now you may want to reuse something such as a menu that is needed, maybe a menu entry that all of these will need to have, and there is some common code. We simply just cherry pick those commits and coordinate amongst ourselves. We can actually see those things. For example, here we have something like a menu that I need to do, and I think we did it in a previous session where we did a cherry pick of our menu across a different branch. So we would do that and coordinate it. You can add it as a separate feature if it's major enough change. But for small things, we just cherry pick them from one another. Generally, if we have a merge conflict, we ask why. We shouldn't really get them. The other cases, when we get a merge conflict, we understand how to resolve it because we have good enough requirements as to what the behavior should be like. And so someone that is taking care of a merge conflict, let's say one of these integration merges here, they should be able to refer to the event model to understand what the point of the changes that the other person is doing, what the point is, and determine what's going to make the merge conflict resolution make the solution appear as is described in the event model, including the test cases that we have specified in there. So now this, along with event sourcing, because all these new features, maybe dropping in new types of events in the history. This is one of the secret sauces of our organization, that we are able to fix bugs in such an incredibly fast manner. Not just that we have this very nice way of releasing software that really mimics the way the Linux kernel is maintained. So we have an accurate way of seeing exactly what was released, what happened, but then we also have this really good history of state. So if we're fixing bugs or anything like that, we have our again, I did this wrong. Let's do this properly. There we go. And yeah, this looks much better without the default. There we go. So now this history looks pretty freaking amazingly clean. You can see where the work was done. You can see where people did their continuous integration. You can see when things were finished, and it produced something that you could ship to production without having hacks like feature toggles or whatever. This is not shipping anything that is not completely production ready code. Anything like trunk based development and all that is going to force you to ship incomplete features, which, if there's a problem with a toggle, can be quite a serious problem. In extreme cases, it's bankrupted companies. So anyway, this is what we like. This is what really works for large and small projects. This is what I would do for my own personal projects. This is what the Linux kernel in essence does. Not everything. I don't think they have an integration branch. They don't have a few other things, but it's really close, especially with the RCs and then tagging what's been released. It's very close to what's going on, and this is actually inspired by the way Git was meant to be used when it was first released. I think anyway. So yeah, let me know what you think, because this combined with with the slice architecture, or sorry, measuring work by slices and having event sourcing in there, you just can't get into a cleaner, more understandable solution. Not just code base, but the whole solution. A lot of people say they need readable code. It's like, well, then the solution is just understood by developers. You need to go beyond that. You need to have the event model so that the non-developers understand as well. That's when you have a proper solution. And that's why, yeah, we generally don't start any work until we have an event model that shows, exactly what everyone agreed to. This takes some work, but it is really the responsible, small, minimal design up front that you kind of would want to do anyway. If you were to do your own project, you kind of want a paper napkin, what the thing's going to look like and what it's going to do. It'll allow you to catch all the things you assumed were going to be there, or you just didn't really understand just how much work was going to be done. So we've had this happen to some clients where once they go through attempting an event model, they really then understand that their scope is much different than what they imagined. And that saves a lot of tears, right? You don't want to get into a project and find yourself underwater halfway through because you thought of it, you were wishing it was simple, but it wasn't. And so this allows you to deal with the realities. And of course, here, I'm going to just, for completeness sake, let me see here, release candidate, and this would be production. So there we go. So we have production. Again, this release candidate, if you have production QA environments and staging, You could elaborate this to have even more things. So yeah, let's see if this kind of talks to you a little bit better. So if you have a traditional development thing, you would have a QA branch perhaps, and this is where your QA folks would be kind of looking at changes, and they would give you feedback. You would of course take the feedback that they would give, and the QA people are free to mark this up, and if there's something that comes back that's kind of sour and not well built, just put in some warnings here. You can add a convention here to say bug or deficiency or not implemented or not to spec, especially when I say I'm done with something here on this slice, and they say it's incomplete because of certain scenarios that they thought of. They can mark them up here, and we can go back and kind of maybe do some more testing, some given when then and all that, and do it there. So anyway, I hope this kind of helped you understand how we work, and you will see. Okay, 1 second here. Okay, so yeah, let's I kind of like this diagram. This is kind of cool. Let me move it to a space where like there's more. I can just kind of export it or something. So yikes, some of these things are really. Let's just cut this whole thing and put it here. Paste here. Okay. There we go. That looks pretty good. I like it. Maybe let's tweak that. Let's print screen this sucker and function for print screen. There it is. Rectangular region, take screenshot. All right. Copy clipboard to image. Good. Let's now, where are we here? Okay. So here we go. Tweet. Proper branch. So proper Git branch management. That's what we'll call it. We'll go at the conference and workshop. And here we're gonna, let's see, what else are we gonna tag? Oh, yeah, we also use git p, right? So that way. And winky face. All right, so let's post that. That looks good. I think, not sure if we need, I think I should just save this as well. Save as. Sure, screenshot and downloads is fine. And just kind of want to send that off to LinkedIn as well. I think a lot of people on LinkedIn are looking for better guidance. It's kind of turned into a social media Facebook for people that work or want to work somewhere. Yeah, let's see. Start a post. I don't even know if I can paste in an image, but okay, we'll add in a media thing here. Downloads, where did I save that? Screenshot from this time. Okay, open, next. Post. Yeah, it's kind of nice to show the fringe benefits of going to the workshop so that people understand that you're not just getting event modeling and event sourcing, but you're getting all of the other really good development habits. So again, I should say that it's coming up next week. Last chance to kind of get yourself there. It's in Vancouver, British Columbia, as you can see on the banner down below. Hopefully you can still see the banner. Again, my camera is dead. That's what you get for ordering cheap stuff on Amazon sometimes, right? I will buy a proper one. Yeah. Actually, I think I have one. I don't know. I'll see. I will maybe shop for one with better controls for Zoom. I'm generally just stationary here, so I'm not really moving to and from the camera, so I really want one with like a fixed, like a manually controlled focal length or whatever. That should be better. But anyway, I don't see any questions unless I missed them. And that's okay. Sometimes the questions distract me from getting onto certain things, but anyway, hope that was fun. Let's put some of this to the test. Let's see. What do we want to do? We wanted to play around with this little gear. All right, so the little gear has a to-do list. So this isn't done, this conference ID, URL, and QR code, or is it? I really don't know anymore. Let's just see where we're at with our implementation. Is it in this branch? I think it is in this branch. Get diff head. Now, I think I saw that this was already integrated. So this is actually done. Yeah. So this is already in the history of main. So if we run this, node app.js, if we look at our event store, this already has previous events here when we were doing this last. Where did that go? I think that's it. Create conference ID? No. Yes, I think it would be. Okay. Generate conference ID. That's funny that we're there when we ran it. We should be able to run the whole thing from the beginning. Okay, space name. So we want to do Vancouver EM open spaces, open space. So we can set the name. Should pop in here. Have to refresh. There it is. Why did I have two other ones generated? I don't think it's here. Oh, I know, because I'm running it in this thing, which I don't want to. Control C. It has a different event store. So if I went into this request unique thing here, I would have an event store, would I? Yes, I would. And so this is where we have there, right? This is the where we got to in here. So work trees are great for being able to flip around between different branches and different purposes. And so for this approach here, let's just go back one more time to this little diagram, because yeah, I can easily have a directory for all of these features separately to work on them with the care that I need without the distractions. But I can also have one for integration. I can also have one for QA, and I can also have one that mirrors what's in production. And I can just quickly switch them here without doing any git commands. I can just go to a different folder and have those environments there. And with event sourcing, it's kind of nice because the state travels with them. So I can move from one feature to another and know that I'm dealing with something that's going to have, the definition of an event, for example, that the other one won't. So there's, quite a nice synergy here with, using work trees, Git work trees with the separate features, having your work really well organized and predictable. So I'm going to remove, actually get out of this one. I stopped that thing running right now. That's not running. I want to make sure to go back. CD minus. Not sure. Did I don't know where I switched to this. You see this little penguin here? I don't know if I can zoom in. Can I zoom in? Oh, I can zoom in like that. Zoomed in way too much. Okay. View. Okay, where is appearance? Where's my zoom? Wow. There it is. No, that's full screen, centered mode. Oh, VS Code, you're such a pain in the butt sometimes. Really? There is no zoom? Why is there no menu for zoom? I pressed Control Shift plus, Control plus, Control minus. Okay, good. There we go. That was way too large. I think that's what we had before. But anyway, I just wanted to zoom in to show you this little penguin here in the prompt. It's Friday. We can have a little bit of fun. If I do super key plus, there we go. I'm not sure if that's going to screw up your video or if it's even going to work. But there's a little penguin. I'll zoom back out. Anyway, maybe that didn't work. There was a I thought there was a magnifying glass in KDE. Huh. Let's ask ChatGPT. Is there magnifying glass in KDE desktop? Accessibility. KMag. Oh, okay, KMag. Let's see if KMag does it. KMag. Main. KMag. Screen magnifier. Oh, there it is. Cute. Okay. Well, that's really neat. Let's zoom that out. So if I want to zoom on something, I wonder if this K magnifier has a better view. It has a low oh, this is kind of cool. Color, normal, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in. Cool. So here's a little penguin. I wonder if it has like a floating. Okay, it says mouse. Magnifier on the keyboard focus. Show a window for selection. Magnify the whole screen. Huh, pretty neat. Hide cursor. Okay, I don't like the cursor on there. There. Okay, so I see a little penguin. Can zoom in even more. 1 to 5. So for YouTube, this is actually useful for YouTube. So this K magnifier. I can show like little things on the prompt to see. Maybe make it a little larger. Cool. There we go. There's a little penguin. Okay, that was fun. Let's see if I have the other thing open because I want to, for those that are curious, I do want to show what this has. Did I have that in here? Set. No, I didn't have it in here. That's odd. Where do I have it? Have it in here? No. Huh. It's gone. Why did it disappear from my history? Oh well. I think I can ask it again. So I think I had this in the other video. Sorry, a post before. Change my OS icon in Tide from in fish to a penguin emoji. Is that what it's gonna do? Yeah, Tide OS icon. Okay, there you go. So, let's see. Not a penguin emoji. Let's try. What else could we have? Tree emoji. Control Enter. Yeah, I don't think that's the proper thing. Set Tide OS icon. Is it global? Okay. Control K. There's a problem with the set icon permanently. Is that going to change it? Set U. That's it. Okay, now I know. It's the uppercase U, I think. So, yeah. There we go. So now we have a tree, right? Which is pretty nice. Of course, you can just make this prompt be whatever you want. You could have probably trees and penguins. Fish, tree, and penguin emojis, right? There we go. Yeah, so you can have whatever you want in there. Just kind of nice. I mean, it's going to take up more room. Let's do the K magnify again. K mag. So yeah, you can see that now I have a tree and a penguin. Maybe some icebergs would be nice around it. Just so it's nice and frosty. Let's see, change my OS icon to a penguin surrounded by ice emojis. Is that gonna work? Ooh, I like that. Cool. So now we have, get it? Cool. Now we have a little penguin stuck in little ice cubes. That's kind of nice. I like the penguin. I like little ice cubes. Anyway, enough fun. Friday fun. Let's get rid of this guy. No more magnification. Don't need that. So anyway, pretty cool stuff. I think I got another half hour here, so if you're wanting to ask any questions, I should do a quick review of our guests. What is this? Yeah, so Bobby, we've added. There's another mystery guest actually coming. So I'm not allowed to say who's coming, but there's also someone else joining for the conference and the whole workshop. They're not on here, but yeah, there's a special guest that's going to be there. So it's already going to be quite a lot of fun. The full schedule of the topics covered is going to be emailed out, but obviously it is event modeling and event sourcing, and you can find details of what's covered through any one of my presentations on it. But we're going to be having the workshop is hands-on, so you're going to have to apply it. If you're there to sit passively for a whole week, you're going to be greatly disappointed. It's going to be hands-on stuff. Yeah, basically enabled through simple coding right in the browser, so you don't need anything special to set that up. I mean, you could even get in there with a Chromebook and learn these concepts. They're tech agnostic, but they're quite important. So you could essentially attend the entire workshop and conference with a simple Chromebook and get a lot of value out of that. But the workshop also gives you the opportunity to be there with the problems from your work and have experts solve it with you using these techniques. So that's another really awesome, especially the special guest that's not listed here. Yeah, I'm quite happy about the people that are going to be attending, and yeah, I hope to see you there. So I wish I could announce the other guests, and there probably will be a few more that kind of come out of the woodwork as we get going. So still have time today to sign up and join. If you have an issue with obviously affording to attend, it's not a cheap workshop. But if you have an issue, contact me directly and I'll make arrangements so that it can be affordable for you. It's not cheap to put these on. That whole venue costs thousands and thousands of dollars to rent. Flying certain people in also costs money. So, I'm happy to allow people to go in for a discount, or students and things like that. Just let me know. All I really want is participation and contribution to the workshop in return. So anyway, if you are interested, just let me know. Message me in any of the socials, LinkedIn message, or Twitter, etc. Also our Discord channel and all that. So anyway, let's look at a little bit of code before we continue. So again, I was looking at the wrong event store when we ran this, so let's attempt that again. Get this going to the whole screen. Get rid of some of these sidebars. Let's run the application. NVM use latest. Now, why is that not giving me my prompt? Can I do a reset? It's still not NVM use latest. Fisher update. Okay, now it's showing it. It's showing it. It's still showing it. Okay, so I just have to, I'm wondering why I have to keep updating Fisher for this version 2.241 to be displayed. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Node app.js. So we run the solution and we go back to our browser and we go to the beginning. So the name is set here. So there's some things that I implemented where the current name of our conference is displayed here by default, even though we're starting from the beginning here. We're starting from the beginning where we set the name, right? There is one thing we don't have shown here, which we should really, is if we name this again, we have it in here where we can name things twice, and it only takes the last one. So we have different names, but it always shows the latest one in here. But we actually don't show this behavior, so we should update the event model to show this behavior, because we could go back to that, and I think I can insert it here because this is like a fresh install where we don't have names, so it is like valid to be blank, and you type in your name. I always highlight blue input data and output data, dynamic data in green, just so people know. But yeah, I could move all this over. Come on. Oh, no, don't tell me. Okay, so sometimes we have so many objects, it hates you and spins up the CPU quite a bit. Now we can move it over a bit to kind of show we really don't need to have that much more stuff. So that's another thing that tooling built for event modeling would be better. Like inserting stuff is easier if you have a purpose-built tool for it. So, all right. So we have all that, which is good. Kind of like that little diagram. I should use this more often. It's quite a nice little diagram of how we do things. Anyway, back to great. Bad. Yeah, these arrows are kind of a pain in the butt. What is this arrow doing? I'm just gonna get rid of it. I'm really not doing anything. Okay. So yeah, what happens when we actually go back? We could show the browser back button being pressed. I could just slot that in here, shapes, rectangle, and go here and do that. I kind of want it up here. Back. That's way too large. So if we click the back button, good golly, that's an ugly back button, whatever. If we click on that, we should, oops, Z. We should see this screen. Paste here. And we should show this connecting to this. So that's how we're going back. And of course, we use the same thing here to populate this. And of course, we can copy this as the text. Double click, paste, escape. The fill should be the same as this guy. Copy. See, it doesn't remember. It does actually. It's in the history. Okay. It does remember some things. It's kind of frustrating to know what Draw.io remembers and what it doesn't. Okay, so all right, there we go. So that kind of, we can include that in the done here. So basically we show that we're reusing this. If we go back, and of course to simulate this, you know, we could copy this and just go forward to go back to this screen. I could just have forward and back buttons on here. Control copy, paste. Where's paste here? Did I not copy? Control copy and paste. Why is paste? Oh, I see. Paste here because I was clicking at something else. Okay. So here we can just move this guy. Move this guy and call it forward. Which is a browser thing, whatever. Someone else can clean this up. We can take pull requests. So we can go back to the page we were intending to be on. So again, CD people would have my head for this, not connecting to the same spot. Okay. Right, and then this continues actually from here. Okay. So now we actually retrofitted something that I added in as a feature, and didn't bother noting it down, right? So the fact that here we have, the last time we were running, you know, according to these business rules here. Every time I change the name, that's the current name. So pretty easy business rule to implement, but it wasn't captured here. So again, we need to just extend the, oops, not that, Control Z. Shift to keep this here. And then I think one last thing is that the top arrow I don't think got extended properly through. You know what? I don't care. Maybe I'll just extend this one. Hold down Shift to keep it aligned. Okay. So that more or less has the open spaces set up, and we show this default behavior. Even if you restart the whole process and you already set the name to something, it's there. Yeah, beating the dead horse right now, but it's important to have those things. So yeah, if we set the name, it should say space name already exists. That's fine. You know, that's interesting. That's another thing that we should have in here. We have this here, but we thought we wouldn't need to do that. So here's the thing. We could have, obviously that error was quite ugly. Setting the name, it just totally says error. We lose track of where we are. So the UX really is bad here. We can only go back to try and set the name to something else. Perhaps another version, you know, we would probably want to have, you know, continue to the next step as that. But notice that, you know, this is not illustrated here, and so we don't really have a design for that page, which is horrible. It does have this. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad if it was just a pop-up that would show up on the current page, or we reuse the same page with an error message in it. That would be good. Another one here is name is already set. We could have, in this case here, you know, another way to get through, instead of doing that, maybe a dynamically generated or activated button would be here. Event already named, continue, right? And if you don't set the name, you yeah, you have the opportunity to change the name, but you can just, you know, have a thing continue with current name, something like that, right? That could be another fun thing to add. Anyway, it's kind of clunky at this point. And the reason I'm kind of talking about it a little bit too much is because it's kind of a pain in the ass to show, because I actually have to give it yet another different name to continue on. So, you know, we can do what we did before, Vancouver EM open spaces. Now it'll let me go because you've done this, and it's not very readable, but it does show me that it has this EM open spaces has been successfully created. We go here. Now that's the other part is, you know, we do have dates set for this, right? It just doesn't show them. It doesn't have this behavior that if something's already set, it's gonna like pre-populate that box, right? We can do, this is the setting of the dates that we're on right now, that page, and we are expecting a congratulations thing, but you know, let me just show you that it actually does exist. So if we look at, you know, our event store, there's our event store. We can read the types here. So we have date range set, right? We have date range set event, and it's just, again, letting the last one win. So if we look at this one, it is setting it to, you know, September 14th, which is correct. And the end, yeah, start date, end date, same day, so it's a 1-day event. So that's exactly what it's supposed to do. But again, there's nothing reflecting this in here. So, these are some of the things we can work on just so people can be more at home with this style of development during the workshop, which would be kind of fun. But anyway, still don't have the rooms. This is going to be fun. So there's a couple of fun things we can do during the workshop. I think a really fun one is going to be the arranging of the sessions that people submit and making this pretty cool UI. Where is it here? Have it specified here somewhere. Yes. So, when you're plunking in the submitted topics into the schedule into the different rooms. So we'll, if we get through, I think we will. We have enough people for the workshop to actually fully, build this out, spec it out, and build it out, and then use it on the last day. So, really eating our own dog food for this whole event. And of course, do it in a proper way from start to finish using this type of source control mechanism here as well, or convention, if you will. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And so yeah, onto the gear. Yes. So this is done apparently. I will add another terminal process. Page 2. What? Oh, that's that thing. Get rid of it. Delete. Okay. I bet that reset a whole bunch of stuff. Oh well. Draw IO. Let's see. So we don't want to do any of that. We want to see how far we got in that. So if we look at we saw that we have these events going through. And we have topic submitted, requested config ID event, right? That's this one here, right? I'm trying to see how we can move from here to here. And if I get rid of the style here and I look at the layers again. Oh, great. I created those on the progress one. Oh, I'm going to have to change all that. Anyway, someone can do it for me. Sign up URLs. Okay, so what, let's go back to the progress one actually, because I do need to say that this is in progress. Copy, and then put it here. Paste here, and move it around, because we want to take care of this unique identifier part where we look at, okay, so I'm not sure if we have this yet. And we can do it in two ways, because we can also use this as an opportunity to do to implement this UI for the sysadmin that shows the current backlog of things to do, which really won't exist. I kind of want to ignore it for now. Kind of want to move this actually out of the way here. Why is this guy out on zone? Generate. Create conference ID. I think this one belongs further to the right. Where we want the URL. This is just getting the ID. Yeah, I think this is a later process. Just stick it there for now. Here we just want to make sure that we have this. Something's not right. Unique ID requested to do requested provide ID. Okay, so this is wrong. This is ID provided conf ID. So we can't read that. Oh, great. text. Why is this? Why is that being shown in white? That is just odd. Copy style, paste style, and that doesn't copy the text style. Okay. This is very interesting. So black color, background colors, see through, hey, whatever. Why did it do that? No idea. Okay, now I can see what I'm writing. Conf ID provided and of course we want the value to be that. Okay, that's it. So we're going to look at the simplest implementation of this generator. Now I always have the generators split into two, sorry, the processor split into two slices, because you can have an entire set of work to kind of set up the work that the processor has to do. And then the other half of the processor is actually doing the work and changing the state of the system. So, you know, I can put both of these as, and of course, I think I put those in a different, okay, no, the little dot says that it lives in here, right? Good. So these things live where they're supposed to live. Good, good, good. Okay, good. Yeah, all of them are, see this little dot here, it says which layer they're on. Okay, so that's kind of useful. Yeah, so this guy I want to copy and paste, because now this is also in progress. And just move this a little bit this way, this a little bit this way. Oh, those arrows are just killing me. All right, it's good enough. Move this guy a bit here. This guy a bit here. Stupid arrow again. Yeah, the reflowing of these arrows is pretty atrocious. Okay, that looks okay-ish, I guess. What is wrong with this? Why is that not attached? Oh, these arrows suck. Okay. So zoom out a bit and then move this layers thing to the side. So these are both in progress. So, you know, we need to, when this is generated, we need to now create this to-do list, although we don't need to. This is our first implementation is really just doing this by oh, I think my volume is a little bit low. Let me turn it up a bit. Didn't realize. Is this better? Maybe. Okay. That's as good as it gets. Maybe it gets better. Sound. Configure audio devices. Rode 86. Okay, maybe this is better. Let me see. Hello, hello, hello. Still a little light on that. That's okay. All right. So these are in progress, and now let's take a look at our app. Let's first of all create a conference IDs to generate branch. The terminal. I want a new terminal node. Okay, new terminal. We'll keep that one running in the back. Oh, I like my little prompt here with the little penguins. The little penguin and the ice cubes. All right. What do we need now? The branch for this work. So we are going to need get checkout. Oh, hold on. There's something changed here. So we gotta save all this work. Get status. Okay. Get add everything. Get status. We have one. I see a 1 plus here, so it's just that. Get commit added. Yeah, so one of the things that I'm not showing while we're on this, sorry, it's doing way more than I thought I would be. One thing that I'm not showing here is how the kind of main branch or production branch or whatever, I would make maybe a third branch. Production would be an explicit branch that we would have. But I think I would keep main to show the event model changing. And I'm not, I think, not sure if I would put it in front of the integration or after the integration or even after the RC branch. Like, you know, maybe it would be kind of here. Oh, for God's sakes. Right. So over here, we might have another branch called main, and we just might have it as these white circles. And this is where the event model would keep changing, because we might want to just keep it as a status branch for all sorts of different things. We know that all these features will be the green, like the yellow in progress boxes that I was just doing. But as soon as they're done, you could see that once things are done in QA, that someone would go over to this branch and or the main branch and just change the draw IO diagram. So yeah, that's something that actually is missing out of a lot of things, because there's a lot of missed opportunities for what you could put in source control. One of the biggest things is in open source, the discussion, the forum discussions, the tickets being commented on, etc. That all should be in Git history. And I think if you're not used to them being in like a text file or something, well, they could easily be on the event model, which people are using for requirements. And that way they would go and see the latest discussions on different things on that same diagram. Just like you would mark up a blueprint for a house when you're making some substitutions or you need to make notes, you would probably include those on the actual blueprint. So we want to do the same thing here. Anyway, now I have to, before I commit that, I have to add these latest changes. Close. No, I want to just Control S that. And I want to just add everything else again. Git commit. Started working on processor. Okay, so push that, and that updates that, and now we'll get checkout branch, and we are going to call it our conf id gen to do list. That's what we have. And we checked that out, but actually we want to make the get checkout be not just minus, go back to that one. And now we actually want to make a work tree, get work tree add, and we want to do underscore, and this is going to be the conf id gen to-do list. And that's going to be done off of... Why is that doing that? Oh. Why is it not... Okay, work tree tab complete in fish shell is not what it's cracked up to be. It's not fully implemented. Maybe I should do a pull request for that. So if I do work tree, up arrow, this is the last time that we did something, which was integration. Yeah, it's really bad that it doesn't do conf id gen to-do list. Conf. Oh, it does. Okay. Sorry, fish people, you're really good. What? Alt dot is not going through my previous. Alright, whatever. Let's do this trick. Works in fish shell as well. Okay, might have to continue with this tomorrow. You can still sign up for the workshop all the way through the weekend. I'm going to add this branch and push it up with the initial change, and look for changes to this over the weekend, and hopefully a working camera tomorrow. Not sure what happened to mine, but it's dead. So hopefully see you there, and let's just see if this works so that we can... Oh, I need that dot that, and then it should... Yep, made that. And so now if we cd underscore work and tab complete, there's the list. Okay, so we can do that, and we are in... Let's refresh this. There we go. So we have the whole thing here. Notice there is no event store yet. So if we run the solution from here... Oh, let's kill the other one first. So we have... Do we not? I thought we had another terminal. Why is it? Oh, there it is. It's showing here. Okay, so we have that. We have that. Should probably just exit these. Exit. Kill this one. We want to cd underscore this to-do list, so we want to be in the same place. We want to nvm use latest. And what the hell? This is not showing me my nvm stuff. Even after a reset. Is it because Fisher's still running old stuff? Probably. Reset. Yeah, okay, so that seems to work. So now we can run, since we have the Node version of that, Node app, whatever, so we can run on here, and we can see it run. Oh, well, here we can start to do some changes. So, let's actually see it run. So here we go to localhost, go here, just go back to, I don't know why it's not launching it from here, but anyway, so now there's a blank name because it's a brand new thing with nothing in there. So Vancouver EM Open Spaces, set that. Let's just confirm that we now have an event store here. There's the event store. Oops, wrong one. We're event store here. This is the one. So yeah, we have only one event, which is the open space is named. That's all we have, and that's correct. So now if we go ahead and continue, we can set the dates. We can do September 14th, which is next Saturday. Reminder, sign up. It's cheap. It's $50 for the main conference. So set the date. That's set successfully. If Okay, I have to add something for the refresh on Visual Studio Code. It's not listening to file changes in here. A pain in the butt. So now we change that. We go back here, and now we have the second event. So we have the original naming of the space, and now we have the data. It's interesting, you know, as you're storing events in a serialized format. At what point do you stop embedding data in the actual file name? I mean, you could literally have some different type of serialization that would be readable quite easily with some, you know, a lot of these things. You could have all of the data, like this date range. You could have both dates embedded in the name. The name of the event could be embedded in the name of the file event. Anyway, I guess then you're trying to you know, coordinate two sources of truth. I think one we can sort of agree that's useful in the name is the ID of the event, so that you can treat it in either way. Anyway, so that's working. We can see that it's going, and then we continue to do the rooms, add time slots. Yeah, so we can do, you know, 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. I think this was Manuel Ortega that did this, I think, or Pilot Bob. I forget. You can do session 1. Session 1. The time slot. So there we go. We just have one for now to see. Okay, and now we're at the generate conference ID. So this is where we didn't even make the confirmation yet. Okay. Which is okay. We don't want to run through the whole thing. We could actually put a fake event here. I mean, this is an easy screen to make. I might make it next time. But the beauty of event modeling is that, and event sourcing together, is that you can jump in on this at any point. So, you know, even though we have this and we don't really have a confirmation page, which I think was supposed to be here. Maybe this was it. Let's just put it back. I think this might have been it. And then there was probably another green box for it. This is missing the arrow. And then don't need that. We just repeat it here for that. I don't know. Maybe we just have this one. Oh, actually, we wanted to show something that actually, yeah, that this goes to here, and this is supposed to be done before. Anyway, we'll fix that later. And oops, now that's in the wrong place. Okay, it's in the correct place. So if we have something like this, well, I'll finish this tomorrow because I got to run. So thanks again, everyone. Don't forget about the workshop, and that starts Monday. That's the most important one. Send people there if you need. And of course, the conference in Open Space next Saturday. Definitely go to that. That's going to be awesome all-day event from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. And then we're going to have an event after for a lot of socializing and discussing this stuff. So I hope to see you there. Check out the Adaptix site. Click on the workshops, and it's right up here. If you click on it, you scroll right down to here, and yeah, find out, meet all these people, and learn lots of stuff. So hope to see you there. I'm gonna try and do another stream tomorrow to just finish this off. So thanks, and see you soon.